Alright, you metalheads out there. Today I'm making a stainless steel rose for my mom, whose name also happens to be Rose. Went to the dollar store, bought a bunch of stainless steel spoons, and I'm cutting them up with a wafer disc, just cutting the handles off of them. I thought this would be a really easy process, but it turned out to be quite frustrating. Cutting them and everything was fine, but putting them together was really tricky. Now that I've got all the ends cut, what I'm doing here is just grinding the cuts relatively smooth. I'm going to end up hitting each individual spoon with a file before I'm done with it. I think I bought a total of 15 spoons. 12 were teaspoons, 3 were tablespoons for the outer petals. And for the stem, I'm just going to use an 1/8 inch ER70S2 rod. I think the copper coating will look kind of nice on it. So how do we bend the inner petals? We could try just bending them in the vise, but I've been reading a bunch of people on how they made theirs, and they say bending it with a hammer first to kind of get the crease started, and then adding in the vise was definitely the way to go. And the way to start the rose was to bend 2 of the spoons almost in half. You want to keep a little radius on it, and then slide the opposite ends together, so when they hook together they look kind of like a letter S. And that's good for those inside petals that are still all nice and curled up. Now I kind of fluctuated here in my welding between speed tacking them if I could get a nice tight fit, or using the regular TIG method. I had it set for about 50 amps. But just getting everything in place turned out to be a lot more difficult than I thought. If we could make some sort of jig to hold all the pieces in position while they were welded, that would be a great way to go. And like the guy I saw on Instagram who made hundreds of these for Valentine's Day, I'm sure that after about 5 or 6 of them, he had a system down pretty good for how to put these together. But this first one, wow, what a challenge it's turned out to be. Because you can't just make a bunch of petals that are the same shape and put them together. I mean, you can, but it's going to look generic. It's going to look fake. Well, how real is a stainless steel rose going to look anyway? But if each individual petal is different from the last, I think you have a more organic looking steel rose. Now here I'm trying to use the magnet to hold the stem in position. Just trying to get a good position to weld on these, and like I said, they were tricky. Some of them seemed to line up just perfectly, and others did not seem to want to line up at all. So what do? I guess you just keep plugging on. Where we end up here today, I think I have about 9 petals in all together, so we're just a little more than halfway done. When I was starting to get to the outer petals, they started falling off. My tacks weren't holding, and it was either take a break for today or throw the thing against the wall. That's how frustrated I was getting. I know you can't tell because of my permanent resting happy face, but it was driving me nuts. Also, beware of the glare off the top of the bald head sticking out there. The arc flash off the bald head is enough to cause permanent blindness. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you again next time on part 2 in this Adventures in Welding.